twins. How's that treating you?
Yeah, it's going really well. Brought in two beautiful children to the world, and it pays to have a patient wife, I suppose. And yeah, as an athlete, you probably need sleep overnight, so she's done the hard yards so far. But yeah, two really healthy boys, so we're really blessed.
Is it different coming in for pre-season this year for you, given last year you were learning about everyone?
Yeah, it is. I suppose you understand how the club operates and how players train and play, and it was a bit unfamiliar, and I was stepping into the unknown coming into last pre-season, but it's been really comfortable, and you know, the guys have come back in good shape, which is a really good sign, and on we go with pre-season.
Anyone in particular good, Nick?
I suppose everyone comes back in really good shape at the moment because you're scared of what's going to happen if you don't come back with your time trial or your skin folds under. But yeah, everyone's in really good shape. No one sort of stands out. We're pretty impressed with the whole group at the moment.
How big an addition is Jake Lever? What can he bring to the team?
Yeah, it's obviously the way he plays is a huge addition. We're probably searching for another key back there at some stages throughout the year, and he plays that position nearly better than anyone in the competition. So the recruiting staff and the admin staff did a really good job of getting him to the club, and he's just filtered in straight away.
Have you got any sort of role with him, Jordan? I saw you spending a bit of time with him on the track. Was that just circumstance?
Yeah, I've been training with the backline so far this pre-season, so he's clearly a backman. So we're going to be pretty tight, you know, over the duration of the pre-season. So, but it's also learning off him. I mean, he's a really good player and a solid player in AFL level. So whatever I can learn off him, you know, I'm going to try and suck as much information out of him as I can.
Do you think you can sort of transition for you similar to what a few other Hawthorn guys have done, going to half-back this year? Is that you?
Yeah, unsure. I think probably one of the gaps last year was maybe a little bit of leadership down back, and we had a real young back line. So you know, it's not to say that I'll play there next year, but certainly throughout the pre-season, I think I'll train majority of my time in the back line.
You mentioned your leadership there, and given what you went through at Hawthorn, how sort of vocal were you with how the season finished and some of the feedback you might have given the group about, I guess, that opportunity that you missed?
Yeah, I suppose I didn't need to be too vocal because you could see the hurt in the players, and sometimes that's what it takes. It takes a little bit of hurt in the off season, and then to come back even hungrier. And I think that's the way the players have approached it. You know, you have to have a few lean years to actually, you know, put the hard work in and get that reward. So I think they've come back with the right attitude.
A few of the young boys really matured last year. Have you seen them grow further again this summer?
Yeah, I think, you know, the guys that probably stand out are, you know, Oliver and Brayshaw and Petrarca are probably the guys that we're looking to take their game to the next level. I think Clayton did that last year, and we saw patches of Angus and Christian doing that as well. So, I mean, if they could add to the consistency of what Clayton did last year, I think they'll become really good players.
Jesse Hogan had a lot on his plate last year with his father and obviously his health as well. Getting a bit of, I guess, clear air for him now. I mean, what can you expect from him over the pre-season early in the year? Yeah,
I think that's really important for Jess. I couldn't imagine what he went through last year, and his ability to deal with that and come back and play a few games and then obviously get struck down by injury again. You sort of feel for the young guy, but he's come back with a really good attitude, and you know, let's just hope he gets a free run at this year, and because we've all seen what he can do in the past, and if he strings games together, gets that confidence back, he's a real key forward for us.
Does he look, I mean, day to day, does he look different? Is he bouncing around a bit more than perhaps last year?
Yeah, yes and no. Like some days you are, some days you've had a big training session and you're not. You know, I can't say that he's come back, you know, more vibrant than he did last year. He was in really good shape last year, but the in-season stuff probably cut him down a little bit. But he's come back with a really good attitude.
Similar with Brayshaw, you feel if he can get a fair run at it, we'll see the best of him?
Yeah, I think so. I think any professional sportsman, whether it be AFL or wherever it might be, if you get a good run at pre-season and then in-season things roll your way, you can show what you can do. So, I mean, any player on the list, if they have little hiccups, it's about how they bounce back. So he's one of those guys.
Given what's happened the last couple of years with Bulldogs, Richmond winning, they didn't have much finals experience before going on to win it. Does it change the expectations of a group like this that hasn't been there?
Yeah, I think you've got to put yourself in the position to see, and if you asked Richmond this time last year, would they have seen themselves as a premiership side? Probably not. They might have said that, but did they really believe that? And the momentum they carried throughout the season was extraordinary, and they showed everyone that they didn't have a chink in their armour, and it certainly gives sides that didn't play finals last year some hope, and we saw that with Bulldogs and Richmond. So yeah, we're one of those sides, but we're well aware that we've got some improvement to do.
One of your old teammates in Luke Hodge has done what you've done and gone to another club. Have you spoken to him at all?
Yeah, I have. It's quite funny. I've gone through what he's going through now, and I suppose you come to the realisation you don't understand how young the group is, and I had that last year here, and no doubt that he's going through that up there, and I think he's got out of a few time trials already, and he's playing the seniors card, so no doubt that'll continue.
And offered him any advice as to what it's like?
You do to a certain point, but I think every club and every destination's a little bit different, so you do have to see it for yourself. But he's old enough and been around football a long time to understand how a football club works and where he fits in that organisation.
How are you feeling physically? Like, ready to back it up for another pre-season?
Yeah, I've managed to do, I think this is my 14th pre-season now, and probably done over 95% of all pre-seasons. So I've got that work under my belt. So yeah, it doesn't feel too dissimilar to a lot of pre-seasons. You've got the end goal of playing, obviously. So I just try and do as much work as I can to prepare myself for that.
Just playing with this sort of new, younger group, does that sort of help keep you motivated on the mental side of things as well?
Oh, not really. I've always been a motivated person, whether it be in the successful years at Hawthorn or whether it be at a young up-and-coming side. I'm motivated to come here every day and train. That's what we're paid to do, and that's why I suppose I've been in the game for a long period of time, because I'm competitive and I want to improve.
I guess a lot of people are expecting natural improvement again from Melbourne. Do you have to, the older blokes and the coach have to keep on everyone that it just won't happen naturally?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you get maybe from your older players is pretty much similar to what we probably got last year. There is certain improvements that you can do, but it is that younger group coming through and maturing another year, and maybe a few tweaks to the game plan that may get you that incremental increase in performance, and that'll be the key. I mean, the age of the list improves and the experience, so no doubt that will bring improvement, but there's other stuff you can add to that as well.